I was collecting celebrities' DNA at Coachella from leftover water bottles on the ground and waiting outside their makeup trailers until they left so I could see if they left behind any DNA on cans or bottles. Because I wanted to try cloning them, because my rich uncle cloned his dog 3 times and now he has 4 little Sparkies because that's legal for some reason. But anyways, I managed to get this can from Post Malone's trailer as well as a bloody tissue. And when I got back from the festival, I carefully swabbed the DNA and preserved it with isoamyl alcohol and then went back to the website that my uncle used. But I remembered it's like a war crime to clone humans. But I thought I could sneak some Post Malone DNA into the test kit and pretend it's a dog to see what happens. And a few weeks later, I got a call from the United Nations Human Rights Department. But last time I fell for something like that, it was when I got an email saying that I was discovered to be the new Prince of India. And all they needed was my social security number. And then it turns out they were scammers and illegally changed my last name to Dover. Ben Dover. Anyways, I have a live feed of the little embryos as they grow. Look at little baby Post Malone. Goo goo gaga. Goo 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 gaga gaga.
I was buying some pot, some green, if you know what I mean. I wanted a green pot because I have a plant that lives in a Ziploc. But I came across this perfect pot at the thrift shop, except it had the name Patricia on it. And I thought, oh, a pot named Patricia. It must be empty, right? Not. After I bought the pot and walked off the block, I saw Patricia was still in the pot that I had bought and realized it wasn't a pot, but an urn. When Patricia died, she was burned and then put in this urn and then got donated at this Goodwill location in Woodburn. But she was worth more than the $5 bill that I paid with at the till. I took her home and looked her up and saw she came from Brazil and worked at a bar called the Sawmill in Jacksonville. And on her profile was this beautiful hill. And it might be overkill, but I thought Patricia should rest there and not in the potting section at a Goodwill. So I picked her up, plopped her on my bike's sill, and rode my bike to the base of a hill and then pedaled to the very damn top of that hill where I would spread her ashes with all of my will. And Patricia took a little bit of a spill.
Hello, I spent a week in Japan only eating out of vending machines, and I ate stuff like fish in a bottle. Let's try it. You are technically only supposed to drink the soup around it, but I wanted to free Little Nemo. But you have to break the bottle open, and the soup was alright. But I was more invested in sending little buddy back to his home. Just kidding, he clogged my toilet and I can't poop. Next, I went to a bread vending machine where you could get this bread in a can. This is great if you've ever had the intrusive thought to eat the insulation out of your walls. Next was a banana vending machine, which is just bananas. Oh, fuck. Next, I got this vitamin C drink, which tasted good, but turned my pee green, and the cap got stuck to my finger, and I had to pry it off before it turned purple. But then I found an edible bug vending machine. So I bought a pack for $14, even though they live in my bed for free, and surprise, surprise, they were nasty. But as I ate them, this man walked in on me eating bugs outside his restaurant. And I am too scared to ever go back to Japan. I was making some pink sauce and pickles pasta and wanted some seasoning as a finishing touch. But I accidentally grabbed a jar of catnip thinking it was oregano and didn't notice until I woke up from a nap to meowing outside my window. And when I opened the door, I saw 40 cats outside my house and I thought it was the greatest day of my life until I met this musty stray who smelled like Fritos and he showed me this really cool trick called bite. And I thought, well, now I have rabies. So I scrambled to find someone to pee on the wound to neutralize it. But after that didn't work, I realized that's what you do for a jellyfish sting and not rabies. So I went to the pharmacy to see if I could find some medication for the bite, but I'm in Japan, so I just translated some medications and found this one that Google Translate says was rabies control. So I took it, and after a couple hours, my stomach started growing, and I realized it was babies control. And I was like, oh my god, the birth control malfunction made me fucking pregnant? Nah, I'm not pregnant. I just gained 10 pounds, because, hey y'all, I'm currently in the vegan teacher's basement, so I thought I'd give you a house tour. Here's a dining room table. It has "Don't Eat Cats" painted on it. Just a reminder if you're going to do that today. Here are 2 fly swatters, which, I don't know if you can have that as a vegan, but whatever. Upstairs is the studio. That's her exercise bike. She also streams here by putting her phone on a tripod, which is a wooden block from Home Depot with 3 nails in it. And this is her schedule, which starts at 5 in the morning to wake up and eat blueberries and chia seeds. Anyways, kitchen tour.
This is me, by the way. This horse, the horse's name was Ben. Doesn't mean I want to ride you, though.
Oh. Her fridge has like 4,000 vegetables and a pepperoni stick, which is really interesting. Don't ask any questions about it, otherwise...
Actually, stop filming for a second.
Okay. Anyways, welcome to the backyard. Here's some propaganda and military-grade security systems that fire tactical rounds if it sees you eating meat. And that's the tour of the happy vegan home that I'm so happy to be in the basement of. Today I traveled to Trump Town to get a gift for my friend that I hate, because if you've ever had a friend that's obsessed with you and asks what you're getting them for Christmas, you can just show you don't care about them by doing a deep dive on their Instagram and maybe find out they've been wanting to learn how to play the trumpet. So to show you don't care, you could go to a Trump store instead of a trumpet store to buy some Trump merch so that they, A, think that you don't actually care about their interests. I don't. So you can say, oh, I thought you liked Trump. And to double down that you don't give a damn about them, point B, they think you're a terrible person because they'll think you like Trump. So look through the Trump store as a minority and try not to to get shot, and then get them like a Trump hat and a little Trump squishy head and pay for it with photocopied money so you're not actually giving them real money. And then after they finish telling you that the vaccine was made by the Illuminati, box it up in designer packaging so that they think it's going to be expensive. And then drop a half-eaten banana in it so it molds, and then walk over to the post box and set it on through, and that person will never talk to you again. Mary whatever. I'm in North Korea right now, because last week I was just making some delicious corn dog sushi in Japan, and before I could take a bite, I heard the nuclear missile warnings go off because Kim Jong-un was having a hissy fit. I spilled my corn dog sushi because of him, but as I was hiding underneath the table about to be vaporized, that's when I realized North Korea is only 2 hours away, so I bought a Kit Kat because Kim Jong-un needs to take a freaking break, and a ticket to North Korea, so I can tell him to stop doing that. Anyways, I went to the airport, and the plane was either on fire or someone just had a vape, but anyways, once I landed, I immediately got on this bus, and the soldiers boarded the bus and checked my documents, and then I was sent through this underground tunnel underneath the border, and then I emerged at Kim Jong-un's palace, and it was pretty cute for a warmongering dictator. I walked up to the gate and gave it a good old knock, but no one was home, I guess, so I was just walking around when I heard a security alarm go off, and I scrambled to find a place to hide, so I ducked into this cubby hole and hid there until they were gone. And then I snuck out into the bushes and spent hours trying to return to civilization, and I ate some blueberries that weren't blueberries. But hours later, I finally found my way out and decided to give up on world peace and just eat the Kit Kat because I was hungry. Sorry, Kimmy. Stop that. I was drinking a vanilla bean frappuccino for the 4th time today because I found out you can get anything free from Starbucks if you make 365 different fake IDs with different birthdays for every day of the year. So each day I go to a different Starbucks and show them my ID and tell them it's my birthday, and they give me a free treat that would usually cost 4 kidneys. But sometimes when I pull up, they tell me they don't do free birthday drinks, but they don't know I know this trick. I actually go dumpster diving after hours, where they throw away all the garbage and Starbucks employees that want to form a union. And there's usually 1 or 2 uniforms in there. So I got this one, which had just a little blood stain. So whenever they deny me a birthday drink, I simply rip my jacket off and show them my employee uniform. And then they just let me go make whatever I want for myself for free. And it almost always works, but when it doesn't, and they say we've literally never seen you at this location before, why do you have blood on your uniforms? I stay calm because I remember they don't know I know this trick. I put on a little mask and say, okay, this is a fucking Wolverine! I was so excited today to see Harry Styles in that new movie that he's in today. So I went to the theater and snuck in my own snacks because a hot dog is $12, but a pea and ketchup sandwich is $2. But as I was enjoying my delicious meal, they flashed an ad for like 3 seconds saying, bring blood to bathroom stall 4. And I looked around the theater and like, no one was fazed by this. So I sat through the movie, but Harry Styles wasn't the only thing making me feel curious. So I left as the credits rolled. And I went to the bathroom and I didn't think anyone was in there, but I found stall number 4 and I went in and locked the door behind me, and there's a guy asking for the blood, I guess, and I wasn't about to give him my blood, but I remembered that I had my ketchup still, so I poured some on a piece of toilet paper, and I handed it to him, and it turns out the guy in the stall was actually just out of toilet paper and needed some, and I don't know what the cult stuff was about, but I'm now about to be murdered. I was eating some raw chicken sushi when out of the corner of my eye, I saw a furry, and then another furry. So I got up to see what was going on and followed them, and then there was 10 furries, and 20 furries, and hundreds of furries, and I realized there was a whole furry convention at the mall I was at. But then I remembered I just didn't pay at the restaurant, and I heard them say on the intercom,
the police would like a word with you.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to get out of here. But these furries were everywhere. And I tried to sneak into this dark warehouse, but there was a rave going on inside, so I found a door to the outside. But it was raining and had no exit and no hope. Until I saw someone's left behind fursuit on the ground with some stains in it. But I had no other way to escape, so I put it on to try and blend in and re-enter the mall and saw so many horrifying things. And still couldn't find the exit and was getting actual heat stroke, so I decided to just turn myself in. So I went up to a cop and said, I'd like to turn myself in, and it was a damn Zootopia cop! So I just bolted out of that lawless wasteland and jumped over furries to find a fire exit and made it out and stripped out and threw my suit in the river! I use my mom's Facebook Marketplace for buying clothes and organs sometimes, but today I saw that Taylor Swift's private jet was selling for $1,000 because she got in trouble for flying them every single day or something. But I thought, I'll take it, and I messaged them and hurried to the bank to take out $1,000 in cash. And I brought it to the address, which was her own airline hangar, and when I arrived, I saw the plane, and I took a bunch of pictures in front of it, and then went through her makeshift security. But when I got there was a little party going on, and I was like, oh, fun, and I participated in the party, but then it got a little rowdy, and I asked, can I own this plane still? And it turns out some rappers bought it before I could, and started filming a music video in it. But I was still bitter from being outbid, so I pulled the emergency latch and breached the airlock, and now I have the whole plane to myself.
Hey guys, just got first class, and they gave us free orange juice, free a little mask to come down and put you to sleep.